GM, welcome to From A to Z, an Aavegotchi podcast. We started a day early, so everybody is probably missing us. They're probably like, wait, they're going to be here tomorrow, and we're not. And, we'll just drop a link.
I'll pop in and say hey. I'll pop in and say hey to anybody who joins, but we'll have a recording ready anyway, or at least a recording.
I'll get this one up tonight, because I'll be busy tomorrow, so I'll get it up tonight. Lots of exciting stuff going on. I mean, October is my favorite month of the year. Obviously, I'm a huge horror fan, Halloween fan. And, we've got fake gotchis. We've got Rarity Farming wrapping up. We've got the mosaic tile competition. It's a busy end of September going into October.
For sure.
And I almost, with all the excitement going on, I almost forgot to just really plan out my October plans. I really want to do some stuff. I want to do some lens posts as NFTs. I got a horror series I want to drop there. I've got some music I want to do. I think I should drop, I have a lot of music, so I think I should drop a song, at least one song in October. Something that something that people really won't expect, though, compared to what you've heard from Gotchi music. This other thing I'm going to drop is going to be different.
Cool.
And, but you actually inspired me also. I might do another music Aavegotchi series that's kind of some other different type of Aavegotchi music with some ghost art to go with it. So right. So I'm planning out a lot for October. So really feeling good about this strong end of September party time with Gotchis. Yeah. And then we're gonna see what happens with October, because it's gonna be wild.
And then fingers crossed it's Uptober. Right?
Oh yeah.
Sounds like September could be a little bit of a
Merge-tember, bro.
Situation. Yeah.
It's Merge-tember. By the time this next episode will be merged, right?
That's 15th, I think. There's a merge party, I believe, 8 a.m. Eastern. So that's noon UTC, merge party.
Yeah.
Thursday.
So next episode we'll be merged. We'll be on Proof of Stake, or we'll be homeless.
Or all of this will have collapsed and everybody's out of a job.
It's over. Everybody get your McDonald's visor. We're going back to work.
Gonna be well staffed over there.
Oh man. So yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll have to. I want to circle back and talk about those music details later. Let's add that to the agenda here, and I'd love to maybe squeeze some alpha out of you if I can.
Yeah, man.
You know how we like to do.
Oh yeah.
Cool. What do you think? Should we jump into the list?
Let's do it.
All right. So this is a little less effective without our normal audience, but it'll be in the recording, and we've got to make the announcements anyway. So let's let her rip here. First off is Artist Summit follow-up. We've been busy. We've got everything uploaded. Hefe's got, I think, everything minted now, and the payments to the artists have gone out. So if you submitted a piece, check your wallet. You've got Ghost. If you don't have Ghost, let us know.
Oh no!
But it should be good. It should be good. There are still 3 pieces. There's 3 pieces out there for which we had max bids, and no one has claimed those bids. In the shuffle early on, there were a couple tickets that got lost, and we don't have names for those high bids. Still, they've been minted, but I think we're going to have to put a deadline on that or something. If nobody comes forward in the next couple of days, I would say probably before Saturday, they're just going to end up in the GMI treasury, and we can kind of see if anybody comes forward after that, or if we can find new homes. But right now, that's still outstanding, so if those are your bids, please reach out to us. It would make our lives a little easier, and you can get the piece that you wanted. We don't want to rug anybody here. So if those are yours, reach out, let us know. We'll hook it up. There are no outstanding payments on any other winning bids, so thank you everyone for being prompt with those. Like I said, we've already turned it around and it's sent back to the artist, so we're doing great there. And then the art distribution should be happening this week. Hefe was busting the other day to get everything minted, and I think we've got our whole distribution list ready, and it's just a matter of sending them and then getting through all the multi-sig transactions. So give us a couple of days, but art is incoming, friends. That's all I got for the Artist Summit.
I'll be ready to hit that sign and execute button when the time comes,
We're going to have to make an event out of it. All of us get together and just approve.
Yep.
I was stoked to get my payment. I already bought a parcel with it.
Oh, man. Already aped.
I spotted a good one. Friend Zone. I had one parcel left in Friend Zone, and I noticed just yesterday that the backyard to the parcel that I have was up for sale for 99 ghosts, and I said, double up.
Nice.
So that's where some of my proceeds went, and I'm feeling good about it. It's going to be like a little party parcel for Friend Zone.
Awesome. Yeah, I saw that. It's a nice looking spot.
Thank you. You got any plans for your lens winnings? Or your lens earnings?
My lens earnings
back end?
actually got spent on the auction. So I just gave it to y'all already. Yeah, all of my Cosmic Spaghetti money got turned into let's see, I got a cute sus. I got a rare Pepe number 6.
Ooh, that was a cool one.
I got one of Lev's pieces, one of the minis. Mini number 1.
Okay,
maybe?
yeah, the little handheld ones.
Yep. Well, there was handheld and there was mini. There were 2.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So I think I got mini number 1. Yeah. That might be it. I lost a lot of bids. So, but a lot of people lost altogether. So I'm lucky I held on to those.
Agreed.
Especially my cute sus. That one was definitely.
You have to get a sus.
The only reason I won the sus is because everybody was too busy fighting over Lagan to realize they lost out on the sus, and I managed to squeak through as the floor sus.
I think you're right. The spotlight at the end there was all on Lagan's piece, and it was a heated auction. So yeah. Good get there. Good get.
Yep. Happy with that. So, yeah. So mine has already been spent back on art. I'm just waiting to get my art. So
there we go. Coming soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love this. All right. So next up, speaking of artists and kind of speaking of guilds, we will need going forward monthly artist and guild spotlight nominations for the Notion page. For September, we've got them live right now. We've got DJ Super Paul up as our artist spotlight for September, and Gotchi Mafia is up for the guild spotlight for September. So if you'd like to learn any more information about those two, feel free to check out the Notion page, and we're going to be doing this every month. So if you have artists that you'd like to nominate, or if you've got a guild that you're in and love and would love to nominate, let me know, and we'll get a little copy ready and put it up on the Notion for October.
Nice.
Nothing crazy, nothing hard. You can use the ones that are there as examples, but get that monthly evergreen fresh content loop going.
Yeah, highlight somebody. That's a great idea. I like it.
That was a quick topic, though. That's all I had for that one. It was more of a shout out, and since we don't have any participants at the moment, discussion's going to be limited. But tell your friends we're looking for new.
I haven't looked at this yet. It's just like a Notion page for them, or is there going to be a link to some music for DJ Super Paul, or how's that going to work out?
There should have been a link. I did not include a link. I will find his SoundCloud page and put that in here.
Excellent.
Most of the content is just what's provided by the artist or the guild. But yeah, that's definitely. I'm gonna do that right now. Put it on my list right now. I'll do it later.
Yeah, put it on the list.
And I'll get a link to Super Paul's music in there.
Yeah,
there are links for the guild spotlight though.
Cool.
Get a video in there, link to their Discord. All the details you'll need to know if you want to join the guild. Tells you what you need, how to get in, all that. So I need to reach out to Gotchi Mafia. I've been in the Discord for a while, and I keep backburnering it and working on other stuff, but I need to get in over there. So that's my next goal.
There's just so much to be doing. It's hard to be plugged in everywhere all the time. It's so hard,
Sure is. It's fun, though. I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I got my 10-gallon hat, and I still haven't popped in enough over there, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, how you feeling about tiles? Are you entering you planning to do any art?
No, I'm sitting this one out still. I'm actually surprised I haven't heard from you because you were going to use those. Got a couple parcels as canvases, but
I'm still waiting for Gerline to tell me. And either way, I'd probably wait till the last minute. I might put them out on Tuesday night and have people be like, "What?"
I would.
Yeah, I might be out Tuesday night doing it, but
I'll have to set up perms then.
Yeah,
we haven't done that
we'll figure that out for sure. I'm probably gonna do it on I'll probably do it on a clean wallet even, just to do it over there kind of thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, do it on a wallet I don't use often, or something like that. But I'll probably do that close to the date. But she still hasn't given me plans, so I just keep minting tiles. I've got 7 of each tile, which I think comes out to it'll be 168 mosaic tiles when it's all said and done that I'll have. So you definitely have a lot more than that, or you will if you go all the way.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to mess with tiles this time.
Oh, yeah.
I got to save for the NFT displays.
Oh, I thought you were already saying that you got 32 of the other.
Just the grass.
Oh,
I got 32 purple grass and 32 cyan grass. I didn't get into the mosaic tiles.
Okay. Yeah. I went pretty ham on the tiles. So I guess I went about as ham as you, because if I got 28 of each color, 7 of each.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close.
Close to the same mint cost and all that.
Yeah. So pretty, so I got my purples. It was the pink. The purple is what's going out tomorrow morning. So yeah, I did my purples. Yeah, the
purple gone tomorrow?
Purple ends tomorrow. Pink started last week. Yeah. Okay. So, they popped out on us.
Raijin, yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, the pink goes for next week. Green starts tomorrow. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Purples are done.
Interesting. So yeah, I guess that's kind of interesting. So I'm looking at a calendar. So yeah, it's interesting because I guess we'll have that 1 week where we actually don't have anything going on, right? Or no. That'll be.
Which week is that? I don't have any of those.
It'll be the last week of rarity farming, and that'll be the fake Gotchi snapshot. So
yes. And actually, that's a perfect transition.
Yeah.
We've got rarity farming topic.
Exactly. Yeah, green starts tomorrow. Next Thursday, we'll have our rarity farming and fake Gotchi snapshot. Following Wednesday, we have the mosaic tile competition.
And then I think only a few weeks after that, we'll be launching fake Gotchis. Because the announcement that was in the Discord, the Aavegotchi official Discord, was attached to the rarity farming snapshot announcement, I believe.
Yes. That's when the snapshot for fake Gotchis will be. So, yeah.
And then they mentioned, I think it was Coder Dan. Yes, the drop ticket. Oh, no, this was in the Friends announcement.
The raffle.
The drop ticket raffle for the fake Gotchi cards is, quote, coming up in a few weeks. So it can't be long after the mosaic tile competition. Gonna be busy, friends.
I know.
Be busy.
What do you? I think it'll probably be second or third week of October. I don't think they're gonna wait long. Because
that sounds about right.
I would imagine that everything is already set up because Coder Dan dropped that piece of alpha with that code in the tweet he did last week. He put out code with that in a tweet.
New contracts already. Yep.
Right, and that was having to do with the NFT installation. So fake Gotchis has to be done. they're actually just trying to iron out the installation and all that stuff so that by the time we get our fake gotchis ready to go, there's already a way to use them, which is pretty
That's
smart.
what it sounds like.
It's a good rollout.
Yeah, you don't want to have I agree.
Because it's different than with the parcels and stuff. We rolled out the parcels and then it was still another 6 to 8 weeks before we got farming. In this case, it's like, no, we're going to roll out fake gotchis, and then a couple weeks from then, you'll be putting them on the wall.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Excited about those NFT displays.
How many NFT drops do you think we're going to have in November?
Oh, man.
I hope it's October because it's Downvember.
It is definitely
no matter what the market is doing, we're going to be dumping on a bunch of art, it looks like. So
it's been up. November the last couple years, I thought was up. It was December that got us nasty.
No, we crashed. Last November, we crashed. That was like, we had Uptober.
Like right at Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
And I want to say, like, it was like a sugar rush crash. The way it was Halloween night, and then it was just like, it's also, it's not a good time, like November 8th, like, especially this year, it's the midterms. So, like, we're going to be in for a rough, October, all you want. It's going to be a rough November. I promise that. Like, it's not going to be pretty.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Macro just doesn't look good.
Macro doesn't look good, but even if macro was looking good, politics hadn't looked good since 2008.
Hundreds of years. Yep. Yikes. Well, we'll see. Everybody just hold on to your butts, and I hope you're doing okay and can survive. It's going to be weird, for sure. Before we go way up, there's going to be some messy down and sideways.
Yeah, I mean, because even if you look at, not to get into too much market talk, but if you just look at what's going on right now, Ethereum and a lot of things around Ethereum are going up, but Bitcoin's not really going up. Like, and that's part of that is because, it's the merge trade. But the other part of that is because if it wasn't for the merge, would Ethereum be going up?
Right. Is that isolated hype or is that indicative of greater market conditions? That's what everybody's trying to figure out. Word is the merge is not priced in. That seems to be the general consensus or the majority consensus that the merge is not priced in. So that might be what we're seeing. It's just
I would agree. The merge is not priced in, but I think part of that is because the money just doesn't exist right now. Because
there is no liquidity. Yep.
What is also not priced in at the moment in various markets is the 75 basis points we're about to feel October 1st.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And I don't think that's just going to be isolated to the US. I think we're going to see a lot of that happening globally because everybody's trying to
Well, we've also got winter coming with these natural gas prices too that are not going to go down in the next coming months. So, I mean, I'm feeling it here in New Orleans. Like my electric bill and part of it's because of Hurricane Ida hit us last August. So they're like gouging us on all these repairs that they have to do now. But basically my power bill went up. And it was already pretty high, but my power bill has been above $300 for the last 3 months. Yeah.
Wow.
And I live alone. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's like a half a rent.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
my
know.
heat will get
Sounds like y'all
expensive
got great rental prices because here that's like a third of a rent. That's like
yeah, I'm in rural northern Michigan, and this is an old house, and yeah, my rent is fortunately affordable for the only one here as well. It's just me, so I got to pay all the things myself.
Right. But yeah, I'm actually gonna get a roommate for a little while. He's
all right.
Yeah, just for a little while. Basically, like. He and his wife are separating. He needs a place to stay for a little while until he gets his own. So, all cool. We've lived together before. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. So we might even see him on some of the streams here. He might be a new guest for a couple weeks.
Cool. All right. Well, sounds like that's working out well for you. Hope that does.
Yeah, it'll cover the electric bill.
Hey, it helps. Anything helps, you know?
For sure.
Man.
So yeah, getting back to gotchis, like with, it's going to be rolling straight into these NFT displays, which also getting into that, what we talked about over the weekend, which is a good transition to the next point. Like what we kind of talked in over the weekend is the size of these things. And I think there's two sizes, but one of them is going to be as big as a humble parcel.
8x8. Yep. So these are the size of the tiles. These are the size of the Gotchi portal and Gotchiverse tiles.
That
you can fit 4 total on a reasonable.
Crazy to me. Because
that's crazy. It changes a lot of my plans.
It does. I think for one, like it's a good thing we can move things now because like I have to move that altar in level 4 in district 4 because that's right where I want my NFT display.
Yeah, I put it on the edge there. Yep.
So I'm gonna have to move that.
I left a 2 square space. I thought the NFTs were going to be smaller, so I left like a 2 square row on the roadside of all my parcels. I got to back all that stuff up now.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Like, I'll have to remove some grass maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna redo that parcel anyway. Take up some grass, put down some mosaic tiles and everything. Like, I'm gonna
a little bit of a renovation.
Place. Yeah. So that'll be cool. Excited about but there is another size of NFT display.
I tried to get an answer. I tried asking in chat in the meeting, and it either didn't get seen or I thought
he said it was a wider one, so it might be like 4x2.
The information that was given was it's an 8x8 for the square, and then there's a portrait and a landscape, but there were no direct dimensions given for those. My gut says it's like a 2x3 or a 3x2 aspect ratio. So that would be like a 6x4, 4x6.
So wait, are you saying that there's one display?
Oh, that'd be smaller. There's 3 different types. Okay. There's a square, a portrait, and a landscape.
I thought that was how we would see it. That's how the art will be seen, not how the display.
Oh.
Because then, if that's the case, then say, if your artist does landscape and you buy another one that's portrait, you'd have to buy a whole new installation to display it.
Right. And I think you're right, because watching their teaser video, you can see them kind of cycle through different shapes. Even ones like the really long, wide, it's a listing for a parcel sale, I think. So you might be right. It might just change shape, but the actual physical installation is an 8x8 piece.
Oh man, that makes me wonder. I wonder if the maximum size actually is the size of a spacious parcel. Like, how it's given the dimensions? I wonder if that dimension actually is the size of a spacious, and that's why it's that size.
Okay.
Because they said you'd be able to display any Gotchi assets. So that's the other thing, too. If you have a godlike asset that you don't use, you can literally put it up on this display and just flex.
And have a link to the market. You can put it up there with a price tag, and people can interact with it and go right to the bazaar to buy it.
You know what?
That was already done.
I'm about to take a left turn now that we've actually said this, because it made me realize something. I've been thinking about something a lot. Especially, I've been thinking about this a lot anyway, but I think I got a bit of confirmation on these feelings last night in the Gotchi space. So, what I've been thinking is that utility to NFTs is actually not beneficial to whales.
Right, because if you've got one, you've got the same utility as having 1,000.
Well, not just that, but utility is measurable. So let's say that Gotchis let's say there was no rarity farming, for instance. Let's say we never did rarity farming. Your Gotchi is literally worth the Spirit Force.
Yeah, plus any like collectability or whatever. But in terms of intrinsic value, that's what I was going on as well. The intrinsic value is whatever's staked inside it.
Exactly. So a lot of people came into this environment because it feels like a safe NFT because there is some value here. It's tied into Aavegotchi. There's a Spirit Force. It's more than just like trading a speculative piece of art because let's be honest here. It's 8-bit art. If it was just literally trading the art, it might not do as well. Like, it's the culture.
I disagree. Look at Smalls, look at Moonbirds, look at all these pixelated projects. I don't think necessarily that would have restricted.
Moonbirds has more detail in its pixels. So, and I'm not putting down the art at all. What I'm saying is Aavegotchi is actually doing better, not because of the art, but because of the culture and
because of what it is.
Because of what it is. And the fact that it's so simple actually makes it easier to meme into something. So, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't. Not with that last sentence.
Well, ghosts are very simple, and the fact that they're related to Tamagotchis and they're very cute, and the collateral, like everything about it is very memeable and easy to bring into a new place. And the fact that you can change out the clothes and give it its own personality makes it very personal. But if, say, for instance, if these gotchis were pre-dressed and just handed to you randomly, like you do in most NFT projects, you probably wouldn't be as happy with your selections. Because some gotchis are downright ugly because we dressed it for rarity farming.
Indeed.
So, utility is actually not beneficial to the whales, and it's why, like, the more utility and the more definition you add to the functionality of Aavegotchi, the more you actually make it measurable, and therefore not speculative, and then therefore not moonable. So yeah. And what backs me up in this thinking is the fact that, obviously, there's the obvious things of like cutting off spillover, cutting off wearable emissions. These are all things that basically say, like, these things only get value from rarity, not from utility. And then the other part is that we've decided, like, we don't want more land, which I agree with. We don't want more land, and we don't want more portals until we've got everything on the market lent out and all the portals open. That is a lie that will never occur.
Agreed.
Some of these portals are priced at 690,000 ghost. It will never sell. And it will never be lowered because it doesn't serve the person who has the portal at that price to lower it. It doesn't. The more you actually price that, the reality is that a portal, once you open it, is worth the bare minimum of what you can channel on it every day.
The base kinship.
Base kinship, right. Like, you open up that thing, as soon as you open that, it's worse than a car. You drive a car off the lot, it went down 50% in value. You open a Gotchi portal, it lost almost 1,000% of its value if it's portal 0. If it's portal 1, you just lost all of its value. It's literally worthless now because all it's worth is the highest Gotchi you could get out of it. And even if you are channeling that Gotchi on a level 9 altar, it's 200 days away from meaningful gains.
So I see what you're saying, and I do agree. But in terms of like what it's worth, then you're talking about just intrinsic value.
Correct. Right? Utility value.
Because there's still some value in, like, oh, it's cute, or oh, it's got these good stats. But in terms of utility, measurable, actionable, you can liquidate the Spirit Force. You can add it. You can subtract it. It is worth that amount. If you sell the Gotchi, it is a $25 bill. Whatever.
It's also this. People don't typically think in both mind spaces. You don't typically look at an Aavegotchi and say, oh, this Aavegotchi Spirit Force is worth $26. So that makes me feel good about pricing this thing at 800 ghost. You know what I mean? Like, that's a total disconnect between pricing there. The pricing in ghost is based on somebody will pay this amount for these traits, for this kinship, for this, all of these things. And those things those things are also speculative because we didn't have an idea of what traits would be, what kinship would be, what points did. We don't have any idea what these things are. So it was valuable to us to gain XP and to allocate points and to do all these things. Once you tell us what it's worth, it's only worth what you just told us it's worth. Nothing. It's literally only worth 5 cents a day or whatever I can. Once I can measure the value, it's worthless. Well, it's not worth as
Interesting.
much.
That must be the push behind, or the push against, the push back behind putting an actual thing to double mythize, like making it a thing, giving it a just having it as a variable.
It's both sides of it, and I can kind of see this is one of the harder ones because if you don't give double mythize, actually, this is one that's actually better to never solve because this is okay. I don't know if you ever watched Twin Peaks, but Twin Peaks, the reason Twin Peaks, the TV show, got canceled was because they solved Laura Palmer's murder. As soon as they solved the murder, the show died because nobody.
Yeah, because it's the mystery is what you're selling.
That's it. As soon as you give these double mythize a utility, like it does, it's worth whatever you just said it's worth and nothing more. And
closing the door on the volatility and the speculation, the speculatability.
Same on the other side, where if you tell me there will never be utility, that this is purely flex, it might also bomb. Because now you've also told me there will never be utility. Yep. So while people don't actually want utility because you can measure it, they also want to feel like there might be utility. Like the speculation of utility is worth it. Like
we're spoiled now by all these retroactive airdrops.
But you
got to do everything just in case.
You can't. Your mind doesn't actually measure both at the same time. It's very hard to say this thing is very useful, but I can also speculate upon it. It's, you know what I mean? Like, and I mean, some people do. You've got people, who might have $1,000 record that they keep spinning into oblivion and making it worthless because, like, I love this record and I have this expensive version of it. I'm gonna listen to it and go to hell. Like.
True, that's true.
Some people just want to enjoy their nice things. But I would say that, like, that's kind of a paradox in thinking that I've come to realize. And it was kind of like, I feel like I've had that thought for a while and wasn't able to really put a definition or a finger on it. But now I have it. It mainly because of this whole wearables thing. And now we can shift back into that because that was something that was discussed at the community call. So, like, this whole wearables discussion about not making any more godlike wearables, but let's make more common, uncommon, and other levels. Like, and it's supported by numbers that say like certain tiers have like lost value, like mythicals. And even though Futuristic pointed this out, just like on, anecdotal level, he had noticed that mythical items were actually like really low compared to what they had been previously. So like almost approaching like rare levels of pricing. So you could say like, oh, we don't
proportionally or just generally, because everything is kind of slanted down for a little while.
Yeah, I guess it's proportionally. Like some things have slanted down. So like
the mythicals have dropped more. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, and even for people to say like, oh, these mythicals finally came into reach. Like it came into reach almost means like, hey, I'm able to afford rares, but like I looked at mythicals and they were way out there. But then like all of a sudden the floor got closer and closer to where you were comfortable. So there is data to back up that, why we shouldn't have it at other levels. But part of that, like we've shut off all wearable emissions. And part of that was to make sure that all things are capped and cut off all production of NFTs.
There's no chance of unlimited supply. That's a piece of information that affects the value too.
Right, exactly. So like turning it off, but then to say, all right, well, we've actually found support that we need to sell. We need new things to bring new money in. And I would agree with that too. I think that, if you have a market in which people are like just circulating the same assets between each other, it does get stale for everybody. You know what I mean? So you need new blood, and the best way to bring new blood is probably to have new items. Because, I mean, even for a newcomer, I would say same thing. Like, I didn't do a whole lot of research I did a lot of research into Aavegotchi, and kind of like, I knew it was already after the first haunt, and I was already like looking at it like, I can't really afford to get in here. It doesn't seem like it was worth it for me to get in at that point. But when Haunt 2 came around, it was like, oh no, I'm getting in here.
I should have done this before, now I have to. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how I felt.
So I was already watching and paying attention and not wanting to buy your secondary assets. I want my brand new assets that nobody's had before me. So that's something that people need to think about, is like, you know, if I was coming in here for the first time, I'm probably going to buy a portal. I'm not going to buy someone's used Aavegotchi, especially when you see, you know, like we were in the DAO call, there was a lot of discussion around like the respecking points, and people were like, well, if you chose poorly on how to spec your Gotchi, that's your problem. And I'm like, no. I bought one off the secondary. If someone else fucked it up, you're telling me I got to pay for that? Like, you know, that's
if
not
the answer
cool.
to that is if the answer to that is a clear yes, then that is a huge devaluation on any pre-spawned gotchis. But I mean,
pretty much. And it's so hard to understand what an Aavegotchi is, that like, I'm pretty much, if I come into this ecosystem and I start looking at the floor, and then I realize that everything on the floor is kind of garbage, and then I start going up the ladder and I see that these are like way, like, this value doesn't make sense to me. So then,
the higher ones or the lower ones?
Well, just if you don't understand Aavegotchi and you come in and you start looking at things, you're already looking at the floor like, man, these are pretty high. And then you start looking at, so Aavegotchi,
it's hard to shop.
It's hard to shop. It's not like rarity tools with other NFTs. You don't have an easy thing that tells you this is a good Aavegotchi, because what is a good Aavegotchi? It could be anything. What are you going for?
It's designed to be subjective. An Aavegotchi does or is so many different things that you just have to get what matches you.
Right.
So before I would recommend people buying a Gotchi or a portal, it's research enough to figure out how you want to play or how you generally play games.
But that's the point. What if you're not here to play games? That's kind of what got us in this. What if you're just here to speculate on assets? Which ones have the best rarity? Which ones are actually good gotchis? And guess which ones it's not? The most playable. The most, and No Futuristic was saying this last night. His best gotchis on rarity farming are his worst gotchis for playing.
Stats wise.
So
I think that's a good balance, though.
What I mean is, it puts you in that push-pull that I was talking about before, where now you have people who are like, well, it's more valuable to have like worthless assets as far as utility. I would rather things that I can flip for a lot of ghost than things that play well.
Interesting. I think that will change over time, but I hear you.
And the problem is that on one hand, you've got money saying, I want to keep this money up. And then you've got like a game you're trying to build. And if the game's not fun and people don't want to play it, well, the other side of the hand goes down with it. So this is where it's ugly, is because lots of people come in here because it's a utility NFT. It's sold on utility. But the ugly truth is, utility draws down the value of speculation, period. As soon as you can measure its value, you can't speculate on it. Although that's not totally true, because look at Tesla stock. You know what I mean? Like, you can clearly evaluate Tesla, and then it's way overvalued compared to its utility. That's the narrative. And that's where I think that we need to, as a community, approach better marketing, better storytelling. I don't even, a fun game. Everybody keeps saying the game needs to be fun. Yeah, to draw new people. But to create speculation around this asset, like, I think it needs a better, like, boom I kind of lost my thought there. Like,
Sorry.
um,
We got to have the speculation, giving utility, clearly and completely defining utility, pegs a value rather than allowing it to speculate. That's what you were saying.
yeah. I don't know. It's definitely a weird situation, but I think that like overall, yeah, we need new blood, and the best way to get new blood is to have a strong pull. And that is, just talking about like marketing in general, like what makes good marketing is good storytelling. So it's not that, let me put it this way. I remember Nintendo 8-bit Nintendo games, and like these games looked like crap, but they came with a manual that usually had like an 8 or 9 page short story that brought you into this world of what is King's Lair, what is Final Fantasy, what is The Legend of Zelda. Like you read this little 8 or 9 page book, and all of a sudden these like blob pixels on the screen
it means something to you.
They mean so much. Exactly. And then you start to see more pieces of culture pop out, and you automatically identify it with this 8-bit blob that like all you had, you know what I mean?
Beloved 8-bit blob.
Exactly.
You've somehow connected and attached to this thing.
Exactly. So it really is the marketing part of this is the story of this community of Aavegotchi. Like that is what's going to bring in new people more than even the PvP or the game or any of those things, because it's the same thing with the game, especially when you're launching the way we are, slowly, piece by piece. People get bored quickly. You know what I mean? Like people were like surveying parcels like crazy. I'm going to survey every parcel. I haven't heard, except for our YGG, like people just stopped surveying parcels. Like there's a FOMO period. There's this big bust of like, oh yeah, we're going to do this thing. And then like the hype wears down, and then people just go back to doing whatever they were doing before. Like, it even happened with farming, because everybody thought farming was going to be so awesome, and then like realized how bad we had nerfed the farms, and now everybody was like, oh, go back to Gotchi lending. Like people turned around and said, nope, farms aren't worth it, and just got bored and moved on.
I quit farming. I collected from my reservoirs probably 4 days tops, and I went, I'm either going to wait till I have a higher altar, a higher level, so I can get more of what I'm pulling out of here, or I'm just going to, wait till it's worth more. Because right now, I think my transaction log's showing like 9 cents a day from one parcel, 10 cents a day from another parcel. I don't want to take 10 cents. I don't need 10 cents today bad enough that I'm willing to give 10 other cents that should have been my 20 cents. Like there's just so many layers of not worth it right now. So I'm with you. I paused on farming.
Yeah. I mean, I got up to a level 4, but I mean, even still, I'm sure if I ran the numbers, I'm probably down. Like I probably lost out on like renting gotchis to put into my parcel, like on the whole thing. But I got up to level 4 res, which to me is like the bare minimum to even start emptying. And I still only empty on Saturday when I can hit that spillover. Like, and that's
attempt to collect.
Exactly. And that's basically my game now is like, and that's only on one piece of land. I have 5 other pieces of land with nothing done on it because like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it on this one piece of land. And now when this one becomes like successful, then I'll hopefully have the Alchemica to dump into other farms and not feel, you know what I mean? But I'm basically at the point where I'm like, it's not worth even starting another low level farm. I'm going to get this one as high as I want it to where I feel like, okay, this is where I want to be, whether I'm emptying it daily or, I mean, I might actually on a reasonable still go to level 9. Because of A, capturing the spillover, B, just having a level 9 altar, being able to channel whenever I want. Like, honestly, after this last couple months of farming, I realized that in order for me to stay sane and have a good quality of life around this game, like, I need to really be able to like minimize my transactions. Like I don't want to be hitting this thing all day, having to come back 3 and 4 times a day because different things are popping at different times. I want to pop in. I think that's why I want to pop in one time and do my business.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it efficient. Keep it easy. I think that's why the APYs are not advertised because, one, they're so variable depending on how frequently each individual user interacts with whatever piece it is. And then it's variable over time, too, because all the assets are changing in price, and it's like one asset yields you 2 other assets. And it's all just kind of back and forth. It's hard to nail down an actual APY.
Right. Yeah, the whole thing is very slippery.
I'm excited though. I want to farm. I want that Alchemica that's in my parcels because then I can build more cool stuff. But it's just going to be a waiting game. You know, it's a 30-year game, and
that's actually funny though because No Futuristic said this last night. He said, "Oh, I'm just going to wait until it becomes easier," and I'm like, "When is farming ever going to become easier?"
This is as easy as it gets.
This is it.
Just might not be. Yeah.
The only way it gets easier is if we watch Alchemica slide farther and farther down. And then it becomes easy to buy into a higher level farm. But the farther it slides down, the more why would you farm?
That's exactly my mindset. Is like right now it is better to buy than to farm. It's cheaper to buy than to farm.
Yeah.
Unless you're buying through channeling. If you're converting Ghost into Alchemica via a rental, you are market buying Alchemica with Ghost at a discount. That's where value is.
And I don't even think, over time, I think if you're doing long-term rentals, you're probably losing, is my idea. Unless you have a good deal with the person, unless you're whitelisted with somebody who's taking care of you more or less, I think you're losing on rentals that aren't daily. Because
I agree. When I see these listings that are like, oh, 1 now, 10 later, but each Ghost channel is like 0.03 Ghost profit, I'm going, that will be a loss tomorrow. So
exactly.
Buy that. You don't want to rent that one.
Exactly. And the only reason there is no way in which it makes sense, and that's what I've realized. Same thing. Like I've gone hard on it to try to get my farm up to a certain level. And now I'm looking at that farm and going, all right, can I like stop renting? And like, I don't want to do this lending shit all the time. Like this is exhausting trying to chase, because even still doing all that gotchi lending, I'm still not getting what the farm was supposed to give. And this is actually interesting too, going back a little bit to the whole like utility and speculation part of it. We kind of like killed the utility of farms. And now, well, no, with nerfing the levels, like with making it but I mean, I remember doing the calculations and being like, oh, a level 3 will get you 100 FUD a day. And now like, I think you got to be at a level 6 before or at the level 5 will get you 80, and level 6 gets you 160 FUD a day. So you basically have to like damn near double your level to get what you were supposed to get before. And
that costs much more than double because each individual level is like a double. So if you want to go from 3 to 4, you have to spend everything you've spent from 2 to 3 to get to 4.
Right.
And then 2, 3, and 4 all together to get to 5 again. But hey, I got a really angry cat here who's like chewing on my monitor. I need to step away for just a second and get
no worries.
What up, Zombie Shepherd?
Hey, how's it going, man? What you up to, Gotchi Emperor?
Just chilling. It doesn't look like there's very many people in here. What are you guys doing?
We're doing from A to Z, but we started a day early because I'm going to be busy tomorrow. So I made an announcement, but I guess people just can't make a Monday. Tuesdays seem to be better for us.
Yeah.
I'll hop into the channel tomorrow too, because I know there's going to be some people going, where's the show? So I'll join if I can. Hey, Gotchi Emperor.
How are you?
Good, man. You?
Just chilling, man. Just I always check the prices on everything. I look around every day. I I just wish I had more to do. You know what I mean? Like inside the game.
It's just what we were talking about.
Yep. I just want more to do, and I understand. Like the other day, Dr. Wagamy, he was talking about how the dilution of our stuff would happen if more land raffles and everything happened. So I mean, I think there's positive and negatives to everything that could happen. You know what I mean? But I thought the whole Citadel and all the land will eventually be released, but we obviously don't want to do it before a lot of money comes in. So
Yep. It will be released, though. I think a lot of our struggles right now are due to just a bear market generally. So,
well, yeah, I think that
I'm
right
hanging
now,
in there.
even in this bear market, what's happening right now, I think like Polygon's reversing the market. You know, if you look at their price, I mean, Polygon should fucking explode soon, I think. And honestly, I think being like one of the first movers and being friends with Avi and Polygon, you know what I mean? Just Pixelcraft in general, you know, I mean, I was out there in New York and like, you know, like just hanging out with fucking Jesse when he was talking to all those people was really interesting. You know what I'm saying?
For NFT NYC?
Yeah, yep. Really interesting. I mean, just following him around, listening to him talk to different people, you know what I mean, was real interesting. I also
Big brain dude.
What's that?
He's a big brain dude.
Yeah, dude.
Knows a lot of things about a lot of stuff and is very well at articulating.
Yeah, he's good talking.
Explaining.
He has a really good. He's out there talking to everybody. You know what I mean? I just walked into the VIP dinner at the NFT New York, so I was just chilling out. I wasn't VIP. I just walked in.
If you can get in, you're VIP.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
I just turned my tag around. It was fun though, man. Me and No Future definitely fucking were having a lot of fun, man.
I bet. That would be a good time.
Yeah. Zybot, man, he's fucking cool as fuck too, bro. Fucking he's cool, man. Fuck.
We're going to have to do some IRL events, some Aavegotchi and or GMI IRL. I think that'd be a good time.
Yeah, you know, I must have missed the luggage giveaway because I'd never seen that. And I was like, fuck, man. I want a chance to win
Bugatti, yeah. Those are cool. If you love it, let them know. Because in the weekly hangout call, Jesse was saying, if this is something you guys think we should offer as merch, like we can coordinate that.
Well, I mean,
if it's something you still want to buy,
if you think about stuff like that, I mean, really merch really revolves around different things. You know what I'm saying? And that has a lot of people buying it. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you know, a few people want to buy it, that's cool. It'll bring in a little revenue. But really, we need a lot of people to buy this merchandise in order to create revenue for the DAO, right? Like, or is it for Pixelcraft?
I think the merch would probably be for Pixelcraft, huh? I think.
Oh, the merch part, that makes sense.
I don't know. I would think the merch is for Pixelcraft to start bringing in some stables and cash, you know. They need to stay afloat.
Are they still paying the dev team in Ghost? Or are they paying in stables?
They did the exchange of DAI for Ghost with the DAO a month or two back, so I would imagine that was for that purpose of paying people. They don't like to pay in Ghost because then it forces selling. So
down pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you hired a bunch of rich people that don't need to sell, which is usually not the case.
Well, I don't think Pixelcraft can do that. Maybe the DAO can hire a bunch of rich people that just want to put in time.
I really want to know how like the DAO to Pixelcraft works with like permissions, stuff like that. I mean, do we really own our NFTs like with the
That'd be a good workshop.
You know,
yeah, we own the NFTs. We don't own the IP. That, you know, we don't have the rights to just do whatever we want necessarily. I remember what Jesse said at the Guild Summit was that basically they own the IP where it touches the real world.
Okay.
So we can kind of do the NFTs and the things we want like that, but if you were to try to turn that into, you know, a line of T-shirts or something, they might have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a line of T-shirts you intend to sell. If you make one T-shirt for yourself, they'll probably frown upon it and leave it alone.
If you're giving them away to promote Aavegotchi, I don't think there'd be a problem there either. You know what I mean? So
I wonder, because I've seen people print their own stickers, and whoever it was just
if
the
you're
other
giving
day
it
said,
away,
"Oh yeah, I had that keychain made."
there's no violation on anything if you give things away. I mean, I can make anything I want and just give it away. You know what I mean?
That's
I can
true.
make some stupid stuff, and I can make, you know what I mean? As long as I'm not profiting from it, they can't sue me. You know? I don't think
I've
so.
got a Metallica album I'd like a copy of.
Oh man, Lars'
that away.
ears
Look
just
to
started ringing. All right, well, we are coming up on our hour. We got just a few
that came
minutes
up fast.
left. Yeah. I guess we got some last minute closing thoughts we want to run through. I know we've got GMI has our Gitcoin grants round 15 coming up. So GMI is the only Aavegotchi related project in Gitcoin grants. We have been in since round 12. So yeah, definitely want to be paying attention to that and, donate to GMI if you can.
If you would like to, it would be awesome. Appreciated. And even if it's like $1, the way that the Gitcoin grant quadratic funding works is more people donating small amounts has a more powerful impact than few people donating large amounts.
That makes
Even
sense.
if you only have $1 or $2, we'd love to have them because they're going to get matched quadratically.
That's true.
Yeah.
And people that KYC with Gitcoin through various means, proof of humanity through like Twitter, Facebook, there's a couple of other ones, but the more levels of KYC you do with Gitcoin, the more your vote and your weight counts because they can say proof of humanity.
Oh.
And so
Interesting.
your value will actually be matched more than other people who don't KYC. Because the quadratic can be gamed, and that's kind of like,
For sure. You can have one person doing 4 donations versus...
Exactly. You could get that old Sybil attack going. But but yeah, if you verify, then you actually get a heavier weighting than non-verified.
Before you guys get going, what do you guys think about like the tokenomics of all the new coins and how Ghost is falling when the market's actually, I know we're in a bear market, but the market is reversing. You know what I mean?
I don't
And
know.
right now,
I don't think
in a sense like that. I mean, in a sense of, I understand as the whole market shifted down, we slowly shifted with it. And I feel like, we were at our high right around where Polygon was. So if you look at how much further Polygon fell, I mean, they haven't even caught back up to us yet. You see what I'm saying? Yep. But if we continue to drop as other people continue to slowly rise, I'm just wondering, why aren't we at least freezing, if not going up a penny or two? You know what I mean?
I think, I have a couple of takes on this. The first one we mentioned earlier, which is that I don't actually think the market is going up. I think that we're seeing an Ethereum related trend. I think that Bitcoin is not going up in the same fashion. We're seeing Polygon go up with Ethereum. So I think overall we're in an Uptober movement where we're going to probably see a November downtrend back to where we were. The other part is that we went down so slow compared to other ecosystems that we could just be still riding that downtrend, which is kind of what Moon was making the post about with Ghost, is that this bonding curve keeps us safe, but it also keeps us slow. So we're going down slowly.
The parachute in both directions.
Exactly. And then when everybody starts going back up, it's going to take that much longer for us to get there.
That makes sense.
The other part...
So in that sense, it's safe, or safer. It's at least more stable and predictable. But you lose the volatility aspect.
Exactly.
And I think Pixelcraft has addressed this by saying, Alchemica markets, like, speculate there. That's what they're for.
I totally agree. Yeah.
The thing is Alchemica is directly tied to the value of land and into value of the game, right? So as Alchemica drops, so does the price of land. And Alchemica rises, the price of land would go up.
And that is compounding. It's self-compounding too, because if you say the price of Alchemica is dropping, so land prices are less valuable because of the Alchemica in them having a reduced value, then you get into that, and now you're farming that reduced value Alchemica to then sell at a newly reduced value, further pushing down. So it's like a compounding thing.
I don't think it's that directly related because you're taking the farm out of this. So A parcel is not worth the alchemica in the land. It's worth
Facts.
how hard is it for me to get that alchemica. And the
How much
bottom
do you have to
line
put
is
into installations to get it out? Yes.
there's no parcels on the market. There's barely, like, most parcels are in profit at alchemica, even at these prices. It's that how much do I have to put in to get that alchemica? Like, I've got to get to a level 4 or 5 before it's worth it. I'll just buy Matic and hold. You know what I mean? Like, instead of spending all my Matic, like, to create this farm.
That's what I'm saying. Is right now, he asked, No Future's asking me why I'm not emptying my shit. I'm not emptying my shit because it's not worth it.
We talked about that too. I'm not doing mine either.
And to be honest with you, I mean, it's kind of ass backwards that, like, they would even release it before it was really, hyper valued or other stuff. But I know that they said other things have to come. But at the end of the day, if you continue to de-loot things without adding, sinks for new frickin' people to come in and new stuff, which I love the art, I love everything else, but there's a lot of people chomping at the bits to somehow get money out of somewhere that if no money's getting put in, you're literally going.
No, you make some great points, and I guess just to like tie the episode and tie this in a bow, I'll rewind a little bit and kind of maybe this will help to wrap it. So I think you're 100% right, and I think that we're not going to see like huge price jumps until we get some new blood in the ecosystem, and I don't think we're going to see new blood in the ecosystem without new NFT emissions. And I think that we're not going to make it worth new NFT emissions without strong marketing. So I think we need some good, I think fake gotchis. I think maybe if, I don't know where Friendless Summer is with the 9 Adepts, but I think having like some good animated things, some good like culture needs to happen. I think that's really what it, and that's what's going to bring new people in.
I agree with all that. But I mean, at the end of the day, like the art shit, that's huge. Different variations of the art, bringing people in, the frickin' being able to go in and, the spectator or whatever.
Yeah, the observer.
That's great, but, like, I want to be able to play the game. I want to be able to come.
I'm with you.
I want to do something, and I kind of want to do what they told us they were going to do. You know what I mean? It's a tower game, battling, frickin' invasions, it sounds amazing. But the question is are they going to be able to roll that out? And as they roll it out, is it going to be what we imagined? Or is it going to be something completely different?
I
think the first one is yes, and the second one is no. I think the first question is going to be yes, they can do it. And will it be completely different than what we're expecting? Or will it be what we're expecting?
No, it'll probably be different. I mean, nothing is what we expected because whatever you have in your mind is definitely not going to be what it is. But I think that this is me being super bullish. I think we're going to have some great gameplay coming soon. And I think we're going to see things that like people are like, oh crap, I am totally unprepared because I was upset at my farm and didn't build, and now I need that fucking alchemica and I'm market buying it to try to build my farm. I think that seriously, like we're at a point where people,
this is vacuum time.
We're in a bear market. You should be bear market building your farms and all these other things, realizing that when the bull market hits, boom, like
market though. FOMO's not in the bear. FOMO's been pretty much
FOMO's on fire.
Well, it's been manipulated almost, you know what I mean?
For sure.
A few of the big whales, bought up a good chunk of it, so, there was still value inside of the land. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's still good value in channeling because of FOMO. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All basically because of FOMO. So, I mean, obviously they can't do it with 4 coins. I think that, Dr. Wagamy said they did it first with Keck in the beginning. Where all the whales bought a bag of Keck.
You could tell it was almost as if the strategy was to pull the prices up, starting with Keck. Yeah. And then that dumped, and then they switched to FUD, and they tried to push from the bottom to keep everything up, holding FUD as the foundation. And now it's FOMO because I guess it's the easiest to pull out and the lowest spillover, right?
Yeah. So
it's all going to keep changing.
It's tokenomics to manipulate.
I thought
that's what they're there for.
I thought Keck was the lowest spillover.
I might be wrong.
I think
I
Keck
remember
is
FOMO and Alpha are weird ones.
Yeah, Keck is the lowest, Alpha's the highest, and FUD and FOMO are basically in the middle.
So I
Okay.
mean, if you look at the prices, FUD is still. If you look at, I always look at 1 cent, 2 cent, 4 cent, and 10 cent.
That's
And
my
that's-
benchmark too.
Yeah, and even if they fell half of that, it still has quite a bit of value in the game. You know what I mean? And right now, FUD has not fallen half of that. FOMO is almost. I think it's still 1.5 times almost. It was over 1.5 times for a while. And you look at frickin' Keck, and Keck's almost fell 60%, and Alpha's probably dropped in half. So
here's what I think is going on. Like this is the market. This is the market. When people are like super bullish on things when it's $2 a Keck, but then it's like 8 cents a Keck, and you're like, oh, this is total crap. And it's like, no, this is when you fill up your bag, you build out your farm, you buy everything at a discount, and then 6 months from now, when everything is back up to $2, hopefully, when we're back at a $2 Keck, you're pulling it out of the land at a rate that is like phenomenal.
That's amazing. But like you said, you need some money to come in order to create value for those coins. You don't buy Polygon because they don't do anything. You buy Polygon because they have thousands of D-apps, and they have fucking partnerships with the biggest companies in the world. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm spending a medic gas fee,
and that's kind of where
however many things a day, hundreds of times.
I think that's why the farm really screwed us, because the utility for Alchemica, regardless of how much was coming out, like they thought by reducing the amount of Alchemica coming out, you would reduce the drop in prices. But what you actually did was reduce the utility. Now I can't get enough to do anything with, so it's not even worth it. You know what I mean? So it actually killed the farm. You didn't actually help the token price. You killed the farm. And now now all the liquidity that exists from channeling is all there is. And channeling is literally printing money. So if that's another thing where this sentiment thing is so funny, because we hate money printing, but channeling is what everybody does, which is literally money printing. Whereas like getting the Alchemica out of your land is getting...
That's work.
But it's also not printing money. It's literally like getting the money that already exists.
I suppose they both exist in a way. I mean, it's just in the portal.
No, I think that
right?
one of them, well, I guess technically both of them are the same, more or less. But from what I understand, when you're channeling, you're actually like minting, so to speak. Not that you're technically doing the minting at that moment, but those are new coins coming into the ecosystem. Whereas what's in the land exists and has been put in the land.
I see what you mean.
It's been put in the land, but technically it would be, in my mind, the same thing. It's just you have to get it out of the land to really be in the ecosystem and have it really mean something. You know what I mean? So until you take that out of the land, it's almost like it's locked.
No, so exactly. That's true. But what I'm saying is, so the reason I'm saying this is because the Great Portal takes in certain amount of sales until it's full. And when the Great Portal is full, we no longer print money when channeling. It comes out of the Great Portal.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? So like right now, all of our channeling comes from the ether. It comes from somewhere. But once we fill up the Great Portal, channeling comes from coins that were put in the portal. So it's recycling money. Whereas right now, you're printing money.
Generating.
And the thing is, people are more willing to keep printing money than to work for the money that's in the land.
Well, absolutely. How many?
Because it's not worth doing.
How many you guys have?
I just have 2,
7.
and then I rent like another whatever I can, basically.
How much land then?
25.
I have 6.
And then how much for you? You got 25 land, and how many gotchis?
7.
7.
So I rent too, if I can, but I mean, it's hard out there.
I mean, see, I'm partnered with a buddy of mine, like when we bought all this shit, so we own 40 gotchis. You know what I'm saying?
Sitting pretty there. That's a good long-term bag, man.
24 spacious and 5 and 5 for 3 and 7. 7 humbles and seven spacious or 7 reasonables and 3 humbles. But like,
So you're heavy spacious. I'm all reasonable. Mine are all roadside reasonables.
I just figured, I mean, with the numbers that were going to come out of the properties and the size of the land, and I mean, if that stuff matters in the future, you know, what you're going to be able to get out. I got lucky on one reasonable. I pulled like a 55,000 or 45,000 alpha, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you can't get that money. What the fuck?
Not without working hard.
I tried 3 different ways, and I'm like, I honestly kind of just want to destroy everything and sell it right now. Like,
at the bottom here, what? You should hit me up at the bottom here. You should hit me up in my DMs.
Why? I don't get it.
He's ready to buy you out.
Selling, right? I don't think now is the time to be selling everything. No. NFA, but I'm not liquidating right now for sure. I'll just keep my frustrations in my pocket and wait.
I don't have a lot built on the property is what I'm saying.
Oh, and that's not so bad.
Right.
I already reversed some bad mistakes I made with building in the first place and not realizing how much spillover really gets taken from you with the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, you need high level fucking, it doesn't matter on your fucking harvesters, it matters on your reservoirs.
Dude, I love it. I've been telling everybody since day one, and now everybody's finally getting the meta. We're going to go back to A to Z episode 1. I'm going to replay that bitch and be like, I've been telling y'all. I've been
Yeah, it's true. That was my strategy. You got me. You turned me for sure.
It's a nice shirt you got. What is that?
Lady Gaga. House of Gaga. 9/10. Yep, tour.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
I went and seen Fluffy the other night. That's why I missed I was listening to some of that during the Fluffy thing. That was pretty cool. Yeah, but I never seen a live comedy show like that, so that was pretty dope. You guys ever seen that dude? Gabriel Iglesias? Not even on TV, the big fat Mexican guy?
I know him. I've just never seen him.
Okay. No, I mean on TV or nothing?
I've seen him on TV. It's never I've never seen his show.
Yeah, no, I meant on TV. Like, the dude's funny.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, dang.
All right, cool. Well,
I don't mean to keep you guys going all night, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's all good. I'm glad somebody turned out and had a good end of the conversation. Yeah. Well, it was a good episode.
I'm happy to learn, and I'm happy to, you guys record all these and you can play them back or what?
Oh, yeah. We're recording.
They're posted.
Yep.
Yes. So, these are things that, you talk about and you get people talking about stuff, and then, people come on later and listen to it and they get questions, they get maybe some answers. And honestly, I like talking more than I'm trying to type messages into some fucking thing that takes forever and nobody responds.
I feel you.
I like going on Saturday, like, let's do this, and this. And they're like, oh, well, I don't know about that. That seems a little crazy. Well, that's an easy answer then, man. Okay, done. quick, easy. You know what I mean? Like, that don't work. But I really think that, what do you guys, one more question, what do you guys think about money? Again,
I like money.
I like money too. Just like fucking, what's that movie? I like money.
I like it.
I like money. Or is that Idiocracy? Yeah.
Yep.
Money. Oh man, what was it? What was the show? Kick Me in the Balls or whatever? Or
the show on the movie? Yeah, I think that was the extent. That was the entire extent.
In the balls. Yeah, that was so funny. Yep. Now I forgot exactly anything I was going to say.
What was? Gotchi Emperor, what was your question?
What I was going to say is, let me think real quick.
What do we think about money?
Yes.
Oh, the money, yeah. Even when I ask questions, about money and everything, I was just thinking, what do you guys think about money and how much money's involved in the ecosystem? And, obviously they don't want VCs coming in, but obviously VC money could really build this game out way quicker and build it up way quicker. And what are the pluses and advantages you guys think of, thinking of different ways for the DAO to become like a VC? You know what I mean? Somehow, obviously if the DAO is separate and like Coder Daniel says he's just one member of the DAO, and the DAO has different powers and can do different things and can make different things happen, and they're down to work with us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what can we do to become that VC and bring in regular money? You know what I'm saying?
I think that what GMI is trying to do is something that DAO should also be trying to do with building up culture and
that's just
financing projects. Like the DAO should be involved in the
DTF.
The DTF, but the DAO in general should be involved in things like the 9 Adepts and other things like that. I think that a strong push on culture from the DAO, like when we were talking about marketing and storytelling and all those things, I think that a lot of that, it can't all rest on Pixelcraft. A lot of that needs to rest on the DAO. And I think that what GMI is doing is like, we're the entire community art thing, but we need maybe canon. Maybe we need something that we can say, this is canon. This is the story. This is the tale. That becomes the marketing that makes you, a good animated series or a good film makes a bunch of people come FOMO into buying Portals and Gotchis. You know what I mean? Because this thing is awesome.
What about advertising? Like, I mean, what about like bringing in like fucking some big time fucking name to basically like,
Well, that's kind of what it is, though. That's what I'm talking about with this. Yeah, because you could almost hire a big name to be on that animated series, and boom, that's it. You've done it. Because they've already tried that too with like Lil Pump. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but he said big name. This is Lil Pump.
Well, yeah. Obviously, we need like Snoop Dogg or Tommy Chong or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I learned of Lil Pump from this game, so wasn't that big.
Cool. Well,
but yeah. Know who Little Pump was either, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I do like is like OKEX guy, fucking he had, his guy, you know what I'm saying, minted after him, so I thought that was pretty cool. Right?
I don't know about that one.
The CEO guy? He had his own Gotchi. He was the Gotchi, right? Like that's who he was minted after?
Oh, nice. That must have been early Hot One wearable type stuff. I got in just before.
I thought that was
2.
cool just because I follow the guy. And I'm like, man, he's got a Gotchi. I think he switched his icon or NFT now, but he was a Gotchi for a long time, and he's the CEO of a fucking major exchange. So I think having friends in the right places and definitely bringing in if all we need to do is somehow get the attention of like some big influencer, you know what I'm saying? And like if they could bring people into the game, I mean, they doesn't even have to do anything. An influencer can literally bring millions and millions of dollars into this game and just say that it's going to be cool. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have to be fun.
I don't like easy answers. I think easy answers are never easy. And I think that that's why I don't like the VCs and the influencers. And I think that something like that can be natural. And I think it kind of, in a way, why do we need an outside influencer when we're such a strong community? We could turn somebody here into an influencer.
Great question.
An influencer, I mean, finding somebody that loves the game as much as we do, that is an influencer.
Right. No, I think naturally that should occur, and hopefully that will occur. But I guess what I'm saying is more on the like, what can we do as a community? We should be hyping somebody. We should be turning somebody into a rock star. And then like all of a sudden everybody wants to be an Aavegotchi because like this famous person is in Aavegotchi, and people are like, how did they become famous? Well, because of Aavegotchi. And it's like, wait, what? It's an Ouroboros.
The art is a big thing, you know what I'm saying? I think McCallum just came in and dipped out, but I think art's a big thing, you know what I'm saying? So I think if we could, really push somebody up in the art thing and to be where they're freaking selling $1 million art and it's Aavegotchi art, you know what I'm saying?
I think there are a handful of artists that are going to push themselves up into that situation.
That's what Pixelcraft is trying to do with the whole like observers and bringing in, whatever they're doing with those 35 fake Gotchi cards. Some of those are going to be trying to bring in other influencer communities. So that's kind of along that line, I would imagine.
I think Pixelcraft in the background is definitely probably doing a lot of stuff we don't have no freaking idea about. Probably.
You know what
right?
else could make a big
100%.
splash? Maybe we can do this as a group with some friends, and this is more of a long-term GMI plan that we can maybe like talk about. I'm going to leave this as the last little piece of alpha on the podcast. We didn't even get into all the music and stuff, but we'll do that next week. But, you know, maybe something that we could do as a group is like maybe a bunch of GMI members go commission Perchy to make us our Aavegotchis as chippies. And it's like, fuck, you know what I mean? A bunch of, and then that's a merger right there to be like, hey, we paid Perchy to make us our Aavegotchi. And then it's also chippy NFTs, Chin NFTs on layer 1, Aavegotchi chippy NFTs on layer 1. It's like, boom. Then next thing you know, Perchy wants to do a fake Gotchi.
Yep, I'm gonna convince Beeple to do me a fucking Aavegotchi freaking collage.
Oh, my Callium, you have no idea. I'm not gonna put this alpha on the show, but I have some really awesome plans for merging those communities. I think we can bring these two communities together, meaning Bankless DAO and Aavegotchi, and like bring it to the moon. Totally.
But that is a good idea you just gave me. I mean, really, I mean, all I need is a card, and I could just pay some freaking huge artist
Holy
to
crap.
do whatever.
You just made me realize. You said, how do we bring VCs into this? But not VCs. Bankless DAO.
Yeah.
Oof. Let's sit on that one. That's interesting. That's interesting.
I've
That's how you and I got to be friends. Me and Zephi were the Aavegotchi community at Bankless, and then like we just kind of couldn't get it going strong enough over there, so we ended up in GMI.
Like, this is what they're missing out on. So
this could be a Bankless show, but it's GMI now.
Right.
But no, there's still like, I think it just takes a little bit of push, and I think there's a lot of people in the Bankless community that would bridge the gap to Aavegotchi if they felt like that pull and they felt that bridge was like very easy for them. We've got, you know, we're putting bank on Polygon. It's just getting closer every day. And we are two of the biggest, most active DAOs, and we're both culture focused.
Perfect match. Yep.
Culture and media. Like, this is a match made in heaven. We just need to like bring it together.
We need to talk more about this.
And Jesse has also publicly praised Bankless DAO. He's like said in community calls, like, we love Bankless DAO. That's a good community. So it wouldn't, you know, yeah.
That's dope, man. Or like you said, any one of us could just put on like an Aavegotchi suit and become like the biggest DJ in the world.
We'll have to get a new word. We'll have to get a new word. You know, if
it's
you
all of this,
put on
man.
a fursuit, you're a furry. If you put on a ghost suit, what are you? Ghosty?
A ghosty?
I just
If you identify as a ghost in public?
Oh man, new kink unlocked.
Ooh, instead of being like furry sex, you could be like Aavegotchi.
It's like a ghosty. Like, you gotta be ghosties.
Ghost, instead of a fluffy or flurry one.
We just started a whole new thing, and I am so sorry.
Oh, man. All right. Next week on From A to Z.
On that note, yes. Let's pull the plug before I get any more dumb ideas.
All
right, yo. We'll see you again next week.
Like, get together at like a Comic-Con or something like that.
Don't run with that idea. Don't run with that idea. I shouldn't have said anything.
Wait. We're going to close it on this one. Mycalium's trying to get us in Vegas. It's going to be an Aavegotchi party. It's going to happen to be the same, you know, weekend as the Adam and Eve party. Something weird's going to happen in a conference room somewhere.
In this Comic-Con or the AVN Awards.
Exactly.
Party. Vegas is cool, but it'll steal your money. But
well, it sounds like a place for Aavegotchi.
Yeah. Soul stealers.
All right, friends. We'll see you again soon.